Hi guys, it's Sarah with Grassroots Evolution, and I'm here today to bring you a monthly message for the sign of Leo for June 2021. My friends, we're at the end of June, so keep in mind this message is timeless, really. It's just what messages Spirit want to bring in through the month of June. So we could be picking up on a past situation, something you're dealing with now, something even past life, or something you're just getting a heads up on. So take how it resonates for you, and know that no matter what messages do come through today, it's still up to you guys, your active free will, the choices you make, and the steps you take in this world to get whatever fulfillment it is you'd like to see. To me, that's personal freedom, it's personal power, and it lies at the tips of your fingers, not the soles of your feet. So my friends, use that power to do wisely, because that is the power that lies within you. So before I get into this any further, I just want to say thank you. I love you to all my subscribers. You guys mean the world to me. Thank you for being here. And if you guys are new to my channel, welcome. Thanks for stopping by. If you'd like to see more of this, you feel like this resonates, please hit subscribe, join the journey with me. I'd love to have you along the ride. And guys, if this does resonate, if you do like it, give it a thumbs up. Help me circulate this message. I appreciate your support so much. So I do just want to take a moment as well to call in Spirit. I'm going to call in Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron, my team of light, and any of your spirit guides that would be here for the highest good of the entire collective. They're welcome to join. I ask these guides to guide, guard, bless, and protect myself, this reading, and any of you who would ask for it, to use me as the clearest channel possible with the most far-reaching messages, but again, that are only for the highest good of all of you guys watching this. So no second-rate messages here today, my friends. I'm going to start off with a Message of Life Oracle by Mario Dugue. It is an older deck. I've seen it in the store, but just for any of you who are interested, this is what it looks like. The box may be a little bit different now, but I've had it since I was 16 and I'm 36, so I think that's like 20 years, something like that. Age myself, whatever. Embrace it, right? Embrace who you are. The messages here for Leo, please. Messages for Leo. Spirit, why did you have anyone watching or the sign of Leo know? What important messages would you like Leo to know? So, a whole bunch came out. I'm going to show you the bottom as well, which is the inner sense. And it says, today I silence the noise of my mind. I stop listening to my ego and the influence of others. I become aware of what comes from my heart. I listen to my inner voice. I stop doubting myself, and I develop confidence in my inner sense, my inner truth, and the divine truth. So that's really important, I think, for us to remember just who you are, right? On the inside, how you feel, how you think, how you react, right? What comes from your heart. And I think it's also important to really trust that inner sense with when we're reacting to something. Why are we reacting? Maybe we overreact. What was it at the core that made us overreact to this situation? Really trusting our own instincts as well, your ability to heal as well, your ability to heal the situation. To know here that when it says you're developing your confidence in your own inner sense as well, if you get that gut feeling or a tummy ache when you say, yes, I'll do something, but you don't want to, or you know that it's just not meant for you, don't do it. There's also, I heard this point of we may need to push past some social anxiety or something like that, where you're a little nervous. There's a difference between having butterflies and being nervous, to a point where your body's telling you very, very literally, whatever you're about to do, stop, because that's not the right way for you to go. So we have Beyond, and it says, I rise above the worldly illusions of fear. I always have the choice of how to live each step of my life. I therefore choose to live each situation in the light by turning my thoughts towards God. By living beyond the illusions of the material world, I enter into simplicity and peace. And turning our thoughts towards God, this is God, Spirit, Source, however you want to, or whatever name you want to attribute to this energy, but this is also just knowing that rising above these worldly illusions of fear. They're also bringing to me about like rational and irrational fear. So it's not so irrational, I'm a little paranoid. I got some fear of meeting a bear in the woods, and I've looked into some bear bangers, looked into the air horns. Bear bangers, if anyone doesn't know, it's this little pen that you screw on an explosive and hit it, and the thing goes off and makes a noise. If a bear is coming right up to you, you're not going to have time to take it out your pocket, like, oh, hold on, bear, let me screw this thing on. It's just a little bit. Apparently they're better for if you can see the bear far away and you're trying to make sure this bear hears the noise and goes away from you. But just, I digress, bear bangers. But there is real danger though, all right, and things to look for when we're in the woods that I didn't previously know. And we've walked by some of these signs before, so then I get a little bit more paranoid. But making sure that you're paying attention to your surroundings and the trees, and if you're seeing things or bear markings or poop or something like that and you're in bear country, you want to know, what, I need to take precautions, maybe be a little bit more loud in the area too, things like that, or you could have a fear of leaving your town, right? There's agoraphobic, right? There's phobias. And here's where his point of asking you, is it rational or irrational? Is it holding you back from living your life? Is it something that, you have, I almost want to say control over, because there are fears where we can still rise above those, right? We have the choice to rise above them. We can do things that are meant for us even while we're afraid. Moving past the illusions of not having enough or the fear of what other people would say excuse me, about us, which also comes to this influence of others. So for some of us, this fear is really attached to the influence of other people. Openness. If one door closes, another opens. I trust the universe, I trust myself, I trust life. I have faith that something even better is coming. I let go and reconnect with the flexibility that opens me to infinite possibilities. I welcome with humility and without judgment all of the doors that God opens before me. Test them out, right? I'm thinking about Monsters, Inc. When the doors go by, right? Why not open them up, see what you got in there, right? Is it for you? Is it not for you? And if something feels like it's really for you, but why not go for it? Because if it turns out it wasn't for you, at least you took the chance. Consciousness is here as well. I am conscious of each thought and feeling that I manifest. Are these energies constructive or destructive? As my inner consciousness is reflected in my surroundings, I overcome my inferior emotions and negative thoughts to leave room for only those that are pure. I am mindful of what I create in this universe. In this way, I become an expression of the divine light. And this is really important as well, because the more conscious you are of your energies, of your thoughts, the more that's going to help you along the way. So if you are putting yourself down or listening to the voices of other people, you need to kind of stop again and say, whoa, does this voice have merit? Are they giving me constructive criticism? Is this negative? Is this something that is, I almost heard like just destroying your own sense of self? And there is like ego and pride in another person, like people who would want to tear other people down as well. Like I feel like some of you may have had energy like that around you in the past, as well as what I heard for some of you, not all of you, but some of you may suffer a little bit from PTSD. And I think that this is where it's really important to notice your triggers. So being very conscious if something's triggering you and you're feeling a certain way or you react a certain way, to know that this is actually a blessing, because it's showing you a place that needs to be healed. Also to be, I heard, fair and kind with yourself here, to move past what you think other people are going to think, because you may feel bad that you still are afflicted or affected by something, or you're worried how they're going to think. And we all heal in our own time. We all experience trauma in a different way, and it's all held on to us, and we hold on to it in different ways, or in some ways it does have a hold on us. And you may think that you're healed, and all of a sudden, bam, something happens and you're right back to that situation. And be open and loving with yourself when this happens, but take those opportunities. When a door opens for healing, accept it with an open heart, still loving who you are at your core. There's two, and this is the most important, I think, because it says, I am free. You are free. Free of judgments, free of duality, free of other people's opinions, From now on, I am free of the dualities, fears, judgments, and people that may prevent me from moving on my path to inner peace. I listen to my heart. The veil of my ego is lifted. A vision of my new life appears to me. I am focused on my inner growth, and I remain steadfast in the energy of love. If other people are putting you down, say goodbye to them, my friends. You don't need people in your life who make you feel like shit and traumatize you. It doesn't matter who these people are either, and I don't mean to sound like a real jerk here, but they could be our parents, they could be our best friend, they could be our boyfriend or our girlfriend or our spouse. If they're going to keep acting like that, there's a real dialogue that needs to happen, and it needs to be coming from a place of respect. And I ask you as well, with this idea of consciousness, pay real attention. If the part I'm talking about right now makes sense to you, pay attention to the reactions of the people that you're talking to. Pay attention to, are they listening to you? Are they really taking what you're saying? And are you guys engaging in active conversation? Or are they belittling you and making it appear to be your fault for the things that have happened, and that there's something wrong with you for the reasons that say this? Sometimes, I am a Gemini, and I know I have a sharp tongue at times, and it's not one of my finer qualities. And over time, I've really had to learn how to be like, you know what? I didn't mean that. I said that out of anger, and it was just mean and biting, and I didn't need to say that. There's a real difference between a person who can own up when they fuck up, sorry for my language, and another person who's just not going to accept that responsibility. They're going to lay blame and hope that they can keep getting away with this shit over and over again. And there's this point now where I feel like I want to see beyond, because we're beyond that. There's beyond this illusion, lose those illusions of fear of what's going to happen if people know that this has been going on. What's going to happen if I leave this person? What's going to happen? You know what? You're still you, a whole being. Okay, without this, for some of you, there may be money. I heard a lot of money tied up in the situation as well. There could be a lot of different things, and really, 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 Spirit wants you to know that you're free. Listen to your heart, not that part of you that tells you that you can't do this alone, or not that part of you that is going to make more excuses. And if there's a relationship here, I do just want to say as well, listening to your heart also means listening to yourself first. If someone is treating you horribly, you need to look at this and know your worth, my friends, and get out of that situation. Crossing into the light. Each stage of my life is a new bridge to cross on my journey to inner transformation. For some of you, and I digress, but for some of you, leaving whatever situation this is, or the people, or the negative influences, the fears, the judgments, whatever that energy is, it's going to help you, because it's going to cross you into a new threshold and a new kind of like level up in your life right now. So each stage of my life is a new bridge to cross my journey to inner transformation. If I face a situation with anger and resistance, I will remain in place. It is only through dealing with each situation positively that I will grow and evolve. When I work with my inner light and practice the laws of universal love every day, I discover the true meaning of life. And that's really important as well, right? Because knowing that you are light, there's light in all of us, and seeing with the eyes of our heart, seeing the light in everyone else, not to a point so much where if we've got a jerk in our presence who again can't take responsibility and likes to throw that your way, not being like, okay, well, I love you, I'm just going to see the good in you, because we've all done it, I'm sure, or maybe you haven't, and that is such a wonderful thing if you haven't. I have. And I know that there's that point where I just see the light in this person, and it's not our job to heal someone. No matter how much light there may be in a person, if they're a jackass and they're filled with darkness too, if there's a motive, is there a motive behind the light that they show you as well? And this isn't me trying to be mean about the situation. I just feel like it's also about being conscious of your energy and the energy flow between people. So if you are around someone where you are constantly feeling depleted and like you lack self-confidence, and someone else, like, this is where it's really paying attention to how are they feeling, how are they acting. Are you a, I almost heard like narcissistic supply, right? What are they getting from you? And sometimes it's just drama. Sometimes it may just be that, they're constantly starting fights, or they're constantly looking for attention, and that's the only way that they know how, right? Yeah, that's light. There's love there. There's a wounded inner child, but it's not your job to be a parent, and it's not your job to have to fix them. That's something that only they can do themselves, much like ourselves, right? We have to make a conscious decision and be conscious and aware of our own stuff and grow up in our own worlds, right? To be able to get to this point of freedom. And yeah, stop listening to the ego and the influence of others. Know who you are. So I'm going to bring a message from the Keepers of the Light Oracle. That part was quite lengthy. And I'm going to ask for some supportive energy right now. So you have Mother Mary, which is love and peace. And I think this is really important that she's here, because it's also, I think, bringing in and drawing in more of a need to just have peace in your world. And this will come to a point, I feel like, where some of the people or the situations or the energies or the belief systems that we have to walk away from, it comes from this real need to just want to experience a peace in our life. So let go of the need to be right. Choose peace. Mother healing is possible at this time. For some of you, what I was picking up on, that energy, it really could be mother healing. It could be, like I said, it could be a parent, could be a spouse, a loved one, a coworker, right? It could be even just an energy that needs to be released, or societal belief systems at large. But I think what's really important here is just to know to choose peace. You have that ability every single time. So if you have drama starters around you and they're coming in, but did you hear this and this and this, or accusing you or making just trying to start war, you have to choose. You have the choice whether you want to attend that. And just by your words, you can ignore this, right? It's like, if you're going to act like a child, or not even a child, but if you're going to act in this way, because children aren't always like this, right? It's I always feel like it's almost like not bad, it's insulting to call someone childish, because it's insulting to children when people act in those kinds of ways. There's a lot of different reasons for it, right? Whenever they have an episode, we can call it, or something like that. So choosing peace, though, right? Not engaging in hostile activities. And we also have Freya and phases of the moon cycle. This, I think, is also important, because we're honoring the phases of our life, realizing, that we choose peace, but damn it, we're a warrior in our own way. We're going to be who we are, and we're going to look at all those phases and all those cycles and all those rungs of the ladder up of life that we've had to climb to become who we are, to see the lessons along this path of light that's here. Life places the perfect people and situations on my path to help me advance on my journey of inner growth. In spite of all obstacles, I have the courage. I become aware of life's experiences. I study them wisely in order to improve myself. I choose to grow in faith, and I'm confident that at the end of my road, I will join the light. That's really important here, because there's a beginning with every single ending. Illusions are being revealed and released, and knowing that as we are getting these illusions revealed to us, they may have been about the particular past cycle, and then we graduated from that. We've learned something, and we're going to take that life experience and all the wealth of knowledge that we've learned from that and continue to carry it throughout our world. So for example, one really bad experience with whoever this person is, and I did hear for some of you, you are dealing with a narcissist, and I think you guys know that. For some of you, this energy and learning how to break free of it and to get out of that kind of energy where you're just becoming supply, essentially, that's teaching you as well. And what I would say is, and they're asking me to share some personal information with you, and I will. Quite a few years ago now, I was in a very toxic relationship with a narcissist, and if I were to look back at it now, I could give all the reasons for myself and why I could hate myself for allowing the things that happened to happen and to being stuck in that energy. But it taught me so much in life, and I didn't know that people like that really existed, right? I was so trusting and so forgiving and so seeing the light, and they've been throwing this whole time, Spirit's been trying to throw this in, and I don't want to use it. It's not my personal experience to throw in here for you, but it is in the same way, because I think many of you may have went through this, and it may not be with a relationship, it may not be, or with a romantic relationship, it could be with a mother, a grandmother, a colleague, right? A friend. It could be a lot of different ways, but what I will say about that situation is my particular narcissist was so proud of himself for the things that he'd done that he would boast and brag to me about what it was and how it worked and how he manipulated me. And all of a sudden it was like this friggin' light bulb that went off that was like, oh my God, that is how he manipulated me. And you know, it's been one of those things that I am so thankful for the experience, because I feel like there have been a lot of other ways throughout my life that I've been manipulated and just not been aware of it. So he opened up my eyes to different forms of manipulation that I was experiencing. So from all things that happen, all of those bad cycles that happened, you know, when you're really in that meat and gravy, when you're in the friggin' trenches of it, it doesn't feel like there's any silver lining. But when you get out of that, and when you realize the strength that you have within you, and that you have within your heart, and the ability for you to just move on peacefully, eventually it will happen. And if you've been in a situation, you know, where you've known for a while, like I heard, like the inner sense, like you've known it's time to get out, really trust those actions, because something's happening now that whatever happened in the past, it's flipping those cycles over. The tides are turning, and it's going to really be that. I think a lot that's being illuminated is just how strong you are. The bottom of the deck is Lord Shiva and transcendence, and absolutely important as well. We're going to transcend the things that have happened to us. We're not defined by what's happened to us. I think that's important. And a lot of times when we're in the trauma, it's hard not to be defined by that, because we're still living it and reliving it and really reminding ourselves or replaying those judgments or whatnot. Because I want to say too, I really pick up on some of you, there's a narcissistic person here who may have really messed with your mind as well. And I think this is really important to become really conscious of, you know, when you're starting to really get down on yourself. Is this something that you want to say to yourself, or is this some planted seed from somebody else who had a mindset out to destroy you? So rise up, honor your inner force, steps are being given, dance with the universe, my friends, be free, right? Be free of all those judgments. And I think too, like there's one more thing they want me to say about the narcissist. It's like, I think a lot of times too, I think for some of you, I heard like, you may be worried that people wouldn't believe you even if you told them. Because narcissists are so good at covering their tracks and hiding their tracks and getting to everyone else first, this triangulation to their little flying monkeys, right? To tell everyone else their version or their side of the story, so that you're going to come off crazy, right? Yeah, I already heard that. You're crazy. And your voice isn't going to be heard because everybody thinks that they're so charismatic and charming. Well, here's the thing. That narcissist is very charismatic, and they are very charming because they got you, didn't they? But they just weren't who they said they were. And I think a lot of times we think that we're unlovable because we weren't good enough. And the next person in line, it will always look like they treat them better. It will always look like they're perfect, and they're gonna, I'm hearing like for some of you, this person could really try to rub this shit in your face. But there's an understanding coming that they're not any happier, they're not any better, they're just repeating a cycle. And I think also when they want to see you hurt over this, it's because in some way they're still hoping that the supply's gonna come back, or it's just some way to exact some revenge on you. Okay, so I apologize for that getting dark, but I feel like someone needed to hear it, and honestly it was coming out of my mouth faster than I could even think it. So we have the Ace of Materials as some tarot advice. It's time to get on with a brand new life, my friends. It's time for one cycle to end and a new brand new cycle to come, and for us to stand in our power. Guys, July, happy early birthday for all of you Leos, by the way, because it's coming and your time is coming. And when you're going to stand loud and proud and people are going to hear you roar, dang it, there's a real start to something new here. You also have Temperance and you have the Nine of Emotions. Temperance and the Nine of Emotions were both in the reverse. Temperance being about balance could also represent a Sagittarius. You have the Ace of Pentacles here, could be an earth sign. I feel like also you have the Nine of Emotions, could be dealing with a water sign, you could have water in your chart here. I think that this Nine of Emotions is aware that they have everything they need. They're self-fulfilled, right? They love themselves first, so that when other people come to them with love, it's just adding on the love. It's not us feeling like we don't love ourselves enough, or that we're missing some void that someone else needs to fill. For a lot of you, I do feel like that's the understanding that's coming, is that you're perfect on your own. You're perfect. You've been perfect all along, and it's really time to start a brand new life. Start a brand new life. This doesn't mean abandon everything that you're doing now, but it's our mindset. Our mindset can change our reality. Being mindful of your energies and your thoughts. Are they creative? Are they destructive? And if they are destructive, change this around. So be like, you know what? Let's think of 3 different things that are really, really constructive. If you need to write little notes to yourself around the house, do it. If you need to write little affirmations around the house, do it. Remind yourself that you are worthy, you are enough, you are safe, you are protected, you are absolutely loved, my friends. I feel like for some of us, this in the reverse, this Nine of Cups with the Temperance is like, what's been off balance? We already know that. If we're not loving ourselves, we're not going to be balanced if we can't already see this love within ourselves. So the bottom of the deck here was the Four of Emotions, because again, she's sitting in this big old cocktail glass. Now for some, this is like definitely missing a lover, missing somebody passed on. The energy here of kind of heartbreak, and seeing these 3 in front of her not wanting it when she's sitting in the whole cup. And I think this is not really living our life to the true fullest, because we see this small picture in front of us of things that we don't want, when the big picture is right here. So clarify, please, this Four of Emotions with the Ace of Materials, please. I heard it's you and your choice, right? Like in Beyond, it says, I always have the choice to live each step of my life. Therefore, choose to live each situation by the light. And this is a choice as well. I think that if we choose to wallow in sorrow and self-pity and feeling bad for ourselves, or being sad about what we don't have, are we really looking at what is in front of us? Under there was the Two of Materials as well here, about balance. It could again be an earth sign, but I think there's something blocking. So tell me what's blocking the balance, because Temperance was in the reverse, the Two of Materials was in the reverse. What is blocking balance in this situation? Seven of Voices. I heard mass confusion, other people's voices, some sort of trickery, there's illusion, there's fear, there's cunning, there's charm as well, I heard with that. But for some of you, whatever is blocking this balance, it is this Seven of Voices. The Seven of Swords is often as the thief in the night too, and I think it's just somebody, again, like I was feeling, somebody who's kind of gaslighting you. This again, I heard, could be your own internal dialogue as well, kind of like back and forth, you know, between moments of clarity and then moments of not. This also could be like manipulation too. So if you do have an energy like that around you, be conscious and aware that it could be what's kind of rocking your stability. And if you feel like it's rocking your stability, you need to find a way to make it right. Definitely, like I said, talk to this person and see how they react. You have the Eight of Voices. If you look at this one too, it's like her eyes are being blindfolded. There's all this information coming to her. I feel like as well, it's like there needs to be a point where you decide not to be an open channel as well. So for some of you, you may want to actually, if you are like if you get psychic visions, if you get, you know, telepathic messages, you can always ask spirit times, or kind of be like, spirit, not right now, and just kind of in a time of quiet contemplation, you know, ask spirit what they would like to tell you if it's for your highest good. But I feel like a lot of us, there's something here, like I heard again, confusion, but this is other people's voices in our head. This is whatever this is. Other people's voices in our head. You have the Two of Emotions here as well, so it could definitely be about love. And we have the Moon here. This could be a Cancer, but the Moon in reverse as well, I feel like, is like things are going to come out. They have to be. I heard something could be being hidden from you right now, but it's going to come out, and it definitely could have to do with a love situation. And this is where you've got the Two of Emotions and you've got the Two of Materials. This Two of Emotions is balanced though, and I think that this is important to remind you. What I'm hearing is to remind you that real love is going to do this. It's going to be an even give and take. It's not going to be keeping secrets from you. It's not going to be withholding love and affection from you. It's not going to be withholding romance from you. So one last message before I go here from the Healing with the Angels Oracle on what would be most beneficial. Spirit wants to remember you have your freedom. Freedom of thoughts. So if we start choosing these thoughts that put ourselves down, let's rewrite that. Let's put, you know, I am beautiful, I'm safe, I am loved, I'm a child of the universe, I am free of my own thoughts, I am free of my dualities, I am free of those who would hurt me, I'm free of other people's judgments and opinions. And you've got the rights and freedoms to express yourself in this world. The bottom of the deck is emerging because you are discovering who you are. You are coming into your own in this world. You're coming into the light. That's absolutely beautiful. So embrace this new version of you. Embrace this self with this new self-worth, and choose to cut loose the ties of the energy that's been binding you. What I would say too, for some of you, you may even want to kind of have a little cord cutting ceremony. Light a candle, get some white sage, or get some Palo Santo, an incense that you want. Open up the window. I would say smudge yourself too. Ask that any negative and authentic energies to you be released out into the universe with love. Make sure that window is open. But also, I would like you, while you're doing this, to really imagine any places or where energy is being taken out. Ask Spirit to help remove these energy plugs, is what I'm going to say, or external plugs. And if you can see any cords, you may even have a specific person or people in mind. You can do this many times, but imagine the cords of the energetic exchange between these people and cut them. And I would say for sure, if you need to keep doing this, you can have a bath too. Water healing is really great while you're doing this with salt water. Ask again that any of this energy be released from your energy field. But imagine even up and down your spine, like little plugs of energy that this person's like sucking in your life energy, that it's removed, and that all those little wounds from where those plugs were be sewn up, that they're healed, that they're restored, and that your energy is renewed. So that's the message I have. I hope it resonated. I hope that it makes sense. I hope that it helps. I love you all, and I will see you later. Bye guys.